So we have Ishmael here from Scoodle. Thank you so much for being on live product demo. Could you give us an overarching view of what Scoodle do and what your vision and mission is?
Sure. We're a platform that connects students and tutors. The way that it works is really simple. Teachers create a profile on the platform. They then share content so they can answer questions that students have asked. And if students and parents really like what they see, they can book lessons with those teachers. It's super simple. Our long-term vision is to really begin to create influencer educators. And the idea behind that for us is I look at Facebook and LinkedIn and all of these other social platforms, and they've done an amazing job figuring out specific niches. So LinkedIn is an amazing professional network, and Facebook is a pretty cool social network. But the network behind education doesn't actually exist in digital form. You know of institutions more than you know of educators. I would hazard, I guess, here to say that, name me 10 lecturers at Oxford.
I couldn't tell you.
Name me the best universities in the UK. You can do that.
Yeah.
Right? And we wanted to flip that around. So to really get the focus on the people that are actually creating the educational value in the world. And the way that we do that is centered around content. So the first step, which is what we have now, is to allow them to answer questions. We'd allow them to upload learning resources, videos, courses, but the core focus every single time isn't, hey, everybody should know Scoodle, the name. It's no, you should know these individual amazing teachers that we have on the platform. They are the ones that we want to kind of stand out and shine.
Amazing. Could you show us through the product demo, please?
Sure. So I'll start off with the experience of what it's like to be an educator or a tutor on the platform. So this is my profile.
So you have 3 different types of users, right?
Yeah. So let me summarize all of that. As a platform, we kind of divide it mainly into learners and educators, or learners and tutors. They're the 2 main strands. Under learners, there are usually 2 types. You can be a student or a parent because you're looking for somebody to help your kids with their learning. And obviously on the tutor side, you are the educator. So this is the experience of what it means to be an educator. For us, what we really care about, as I mentioned before, was this notion of branding as a teacher. And the way that we go about doing that is this thing that we call the tutor score. So this adds up all of the different value points that you've created to come up with a number. And I think what's really important to us, at least, is giving a sense of control to the tutor. Because usually when you look at a lot of these platforms, you sign up, you make your profile look pretty good. For whatever reason, you end up on page 5 or page 10. It's actually very difficult to improve your ranking. For us, the content creation piece is entirely in the hands of the teacher. You can answer a question whenever and as you wish. And the more of that you do, the more value you create. So you notice here with my profile, the answers and the things that I've done on the platform have helped 236 students learn. I've answered 60 questions, and you can see here there are booster points when I respond to messages on time or when I answer questions. All of that contributes to a score that I get on the platform, and in this case it's 1,580. And we have that on your brand whenever parents and students discover you. So you can
that's amazing, because the teacher gets to almost create their reputation, and so it's, they don't have to find funky SEO techniques. Like they are building their reputation.
Exactly. And then the things that we look at, it makes sense. So it's things like, are you contributing content? Great. Are students finding it helpful? If they are, we'll start adding those numbers over here. And the really cool thing about SEO, and for those that don't know about that space, it's just ranking really high on Google search. It's still a thing. It's actually very, very powerful. So whenever a tutor answers a question, we do all of the tech stuff to make sure that their answer can actually be discovered by students, not just on Scoodle, but all around the world. And that contributes to this idea of recognition and branding. The things that you create on Scoodle can be discovered by people everywhere, which is really, really exciting. And the experience of what that's like, so I think I've already got this filtered here. I really like economics. I've gone to my filters. I've already filtered by economics here. But the idea here is, once I found the subject that I like, I can go to see which questions I find particularly interesting. What are healthcare services? Explain supply and demand. It seems pretty cool. I'll go ahead and answer that. And you notice here, with every single question, and this is very similar to the student experience, the most important thing, which as you can see at the top, is the brand of the tutor is always there.
Yeah.
It's not about Scoodle. When you make a search on Google and you see these answers, it's not our name that's kind of shoved in the faces of the students. It's the person who's actually contributed this content.
Yeah.
The reason I mentioned kind of the Oxford example is that also applies to a lot of companies in the education space.
Yeah.
I can name a bunch of websites that are really cool for learning resources, Coursera, Udemy, things like that. Amazing platforms. But I know the platform more than I know anybody on there.
Wow, okay.
That's what we're trying to change.
Yeah. You're trying to make this teachers the celebrities.
Exactly. It's exactly that.
Wow, okay.
So that's kind of pretty much it on the side of the tutor. So just give me a second. I'm going to log into the student account.
Yeah.
And
so this is the perspective of the student.
Yeah.
Or the mother or father.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're a learner or you're looking to find a teacher for somebody else, this is how you would discover Scoodle for the first time. And there are two tabs that are particularly relevant.
Yeah.
Again, there's the typical messages and lessons tab. You can deal with responses and manage your lessons conveniently here. But the exciting stuff really is around how you go about discovering what a good teacher is.
Okay.
And this goes back to the content piece.
Yeah.
So I'm a tutor. I've worked hard to answer questions. I've put that out there. Scoodle is now doing the work to make sure that my content can be discovered by other people. So a parent comes across and they see here, for example, here's an interesting question. Again, emphasis is always on who is the person that has answered that question.
Yeah.
Again, I can keep scrolling down. I can filter by topic that I find interesting. Again, another question here that seems pretty useful. The first thing that I can do is go into that teacher.
Yeah.
And I can see, okay, what else have they answered? And again, this is the first step for us. The next step is learning resources, and after that, video content, all of which builds our educational feed for the parents and the students that we have on the platform.
This is great from a student perspective because you actually get to test and understand what the teacher is about before you pay for tuition. I'm from the old days, so in the 90s, I went to a lot of tutors, and it's really hard to ascertain which one is a good teacher. But like, if you go into a profile, you're actually able to see, okay, well, does this teacher speak my language? And I think the nuances of language is really, really important.
Yeah. You get to see whether they can break down complex things into simple ideas. And that is the core of teaching.
Yeah, and communicate it in a way that you ingest the information. So,
exactly.
So there could be two phenomenal teachers, but one teacher might resonate with you much more.
Yeah. And
that's amazing.
You get to make that level of discovery as you wish. And again, you can filter by... and we're going to add a few more filters as well to make it even more relevant, things like exam boards and so on. But you can filter, save answers and so on. So that's one way you can go about discovering through the content feed. And then the other is the conventional search feed. But again, the key thing for us is what determines your rank is you.
Yeah.
It's the things that you contribute to the platform. So if you were to imagine that you're going for a conventional search here for a teacher, these are just kind of the general list of recommended tutors that are some of the best on our platform. You'll see here, for example, as I kind of scroll, you can see some really high-ranking tutors based on when they've signed up. Now, the thing that we've really pushed on is what determines a teacher's rank. So you look over here for teachers that are top in maths. It is in the control of these teachers how they want to rank by contributing content. So going into this profile over here, you can see that Savannah has answered 21 questions and she's taught a few hours on the platform as well. And you can swipe through to see the different types of content that she's contributed to the platform, and that is what helped her get to the position that she's in our search results. So the real emphasis for us is teachers are able to control how they are positioned on the platform by contributing content. And on an incentive piece, we're also the first platform to completely remove booking fees entirely from lessons. So what that means is over here, Savannah charges £20 an hour. That means she keeps the entirety of that £20 without the parents or students paying anything extra. The reason we do that is around the world that we want to create, the ecosystem that we're trying to create, which is a world where teachers are at the forefront, and we know that they're there because their content is now discoverable by millions of users all around the world.
Yeah.
To be able to do that, they need to have an incentive to continue to come back.
Yeah.
By taking a portion of their income, we remove that incentive, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
What we really want is to make them feel like, hey, this is great, let me come back and do some more.
Yeah.
And that funnels them to allow them to actually earn a bit of extra income.
Yeah.
But most importantly, the next stage again after that is, okay, I'm going to contribute to the platform again and again and again.
Yeah.
Because that for us is what creates that notion of Kim Kardashians of education, or
Kim
influencer.
Kardashian of education.
It works.
Yeah, it works. Yeah.
That's exactly it. Like, how do you make an educator famous?
Yeah.
They deserve to be.
Yeah.
And everybody agrees. It's strange, you know. Every parent loves teachers, but it's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
And that's what we really wanted to bring to the world.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for being on live product demo.
Pleasure.
And we'll probably kick back and have another conversation. But yeah.